Well, hey, the Kings and the Bulls are out there playing some basketball, but unfortunately, it feels like the Chicago Bulls just do not have very much energy out there tonight. Now made some heads up plays, absolutely. The Bulls find themselves down by 9 points at halftime, 64-55. Nikola Vucevic is leading the way for the Bulls right now with 11 points. Trey Jones has 8. Um, Kevin Herter has 9. Kobe White has not really gotten going yet. He's 1 of 6 from the field. You got 6 points off the bench from Zach Collins, 4 from Patrick Williams, 6 from Dalen Terry as well. We look at the flip side of that. Malik Monk is leading the Sacramento Kings right now with 19 points. You got Zach LaVine with only 3 points and DeMar DeRozan with 9. It's going to be fun to watch who wakes up more in the second half of this game for sure, right? Like the Bulls are as low energy as they've played. This game is a lot closer than what you would think it would do, right? Like it's a lot closer when you look at it. The Bulls are still shooting 50% from the field. They're 4 of 14 from 3-point range. The Sacramento Kings are 3 of 27. I'm sorry, 13 of 27 from 3-point range. That 3-point discrepancy is huge in a game like this, right? And so if the Bulls are able to defend the 3-point line better or start shooting a little bit better threes themselves, the Bulls can be right back in this game, right? They're not entirely out of this game. Now, the turnovers are another problem for the Bulls. They have 8 turnovers on the night so far, but the points off turnover battle is actually close. The Bulls have 10 points off turnovers. The Sacramento Kings only have 11, right? Points in the paint. The Bulls are killing them in the paint, 34-10 in the paint, right? But that 3-point discrepancy is going to create a lot of difference there, right? It's going to make up that ground. 23 points off the bench for the Sacramento Kings as well so far in the first half of this game. So they just got to listen. This is an inconsistent Kobe night so far, right? But we've seen Kobe White wake up in the second half of games before. He's 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 2 from the 3-point line. So we could very well see Kobe White wake up. But you got to keep that in mind. DeMar DeRozan's only 3 of 9 from the field. Zach LaVine's 0 for 4. So they have 2 players that can wake up themselves in the second half of this game. Love the game that Trey Jones is playing as well with his 8 points. He has 2 steals, 2 assists in this game. No rebounds as of yet. Nikola Vucevic actually has 9 rebounds. So shout out to Vuce for making up and coming back on the rebounding battle. But yeah, this is just the Bulls don't really have the energy right now. That starts getting and looking a little bit better for the Bulls. Things may start turning around for this team, but they gotta get their life together. And if they don't, it's going to continue to be an ugly game. So we'll see what Billy Donovan does. We even saw some fire from Billy Donovan drawing a tech today, arguing with the refs, right? I think everybody's on high alert this game. I think the Bulls really do want to win this game, but keep in mind they had a late surge last night against the Suns, and that took a lot of energy because the Bulls were actually competing down that stretch. So we'll see how that works out for this team today if they can get back on the right path. Game of runs again, as it always is for the Bulls. The Bulls did finish the second quarter with a 15-10 run. They were down 19 points before that run, and then they end up only down by 9. So, maybe that's a sign that the Bulls can come out here in the third quarter and be back on fire. You would like to hope so, right? Because if the Bulls can just get another big run and actually get some defensive stops, they can be right there in this game, man. This game is not out of touch yet. Haize, the game is gritty. Hope the fans is doing well. The fam is doing well, respectively. Thank you for that, bro. Thank you. Malik Monk held us at bay. In second half, DeMar DeRozan is going to put us to sleep. Well, don't forget second half, Kobe White. Kobe White has been a much better second half player than first half player on this season. So we'll see. We'll see. No excuse, but Bulls definitely playing like they are tired from yesterday. Just sloppy and bad effort on defense. At least we can cut it to single digits. Yeah, at least we did cut it to single digits. And that's big because I think you definitely don't want to go down in the halftime down by 19. With Kobe and DeMar both, only combined for 12 points, right? Like they're probably going to wake up in the second half of this game. One of them is probably going to wake up in the second half of this game. Nikola Vucevic is finally waking up. Yeah, I mean, they don't have Sabonis, so that's a part in it as well. Robert says, "Haize, I'm crashing out over my 2 midterms tomorrow. What should I do?" Hey, bro, just listen. Trust yourself. Study. You got this. I think that this is very emotional for the younger players going against Zach and Debo. I mean, it could very well be. Um, we'll see. They've gone against Debo already today. Zach, this is their first time against Zach. I hope Sticks is taking care of those hemorrhoids from all that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Props to P. Will for working on that sidestep Euro step. He's been trying to incorporate that move. Okay. Regardless of the outcome of this game, it'll be skeptical night to celebrate DeRozan reaching a special night to celebrate DeRozan winning 25K points, reaching 25K points. Listen, DeMar is a Hall of Famer, right? DeMar DeRozan is absolutely a Hall of Famer. And I'm glad that DeMar DeRozan has gotten the accolades over his career because he hasn't gotten a title. But you look at what he's been able to do and accomplish as a scorer with no real 3-point shots. You love that. Hey guys, where can I find a place to watch all the Bulls games? I'm from Australia and games are very limited. All the best. Do you guys have NBA TV out there? I don't mean that like sarcastically. I don't know. If you have NBA TV, that'll be your best bet. What it do? What's going on, Los? Great effort on D for the Bulls, and Levine and Debo are playing low key today. Well, I mean, yeah, I won't say great effort. I mean, they've gotten in the passing lanes a couple of times, but I don't know if I feel like it's a great defensive effort tonight. But hey, we should definitely play Jalen Smith some minutes, considering Billy Donovan hasn't played him lately. He would have the most energy right now. Listen, you're making sense. Game goes down to the wire, and Kobe White hits a game winner over both DeMar and Zach. Come on, bro. Like, you over here fantasy booking. That's that Vince McMahon fantasy booking. Why was King and Murray considered so untouchable in the trade? He really doesn't fit with the Kings since DeMar and Zach is there now, because DeMar and Zach may not be there. At least DeMar may not be there, part of their future, right? Like, you got to keep in mind, like, this is a Kings team that doesn't want to fully rebuild, but they're not trying to send off a bunch of their young players either. So there's that part of it. Horns over hoops, what's going on, fam? Glad to have you in the building. Why not play Jalen Smith? He can rebound and the ability to stretch the floor. A rotation with Smith and Zach could get us more second chance points, because Billy Donovan doesn't care about centers. Like, that's just what it comes down to. Watch via NBA app myself. It's like 175 a year though. I mean, but it's worth it, right? Like, I pay for NBA app as well. Like, the League Pass is what it's called, and it's more than worth it. Like, just to not have to worry about every game, right? And then if you're overseas as well, like, you don't have to worry about blackouts at all. Like, sometimes here you got to worry about blackouts. So Kobe White doesn't perform well on back-to-back games. I hope he plays better in the second half. Why is Billy playing P. Will over DT and Jalen? Probably because defensively today, right? I would guess so. Do you believe Zach Collins can make a strong case for starting center? And do you feel like Vooch is burned out more than he's declining skill wise? Oh, I definitely think Vooch is just not engaged. I don't think Vooch is all of a sudden, like, you look at there's no way that at the start of the season, when he was playing as the best Bull through probably the first 2 months of the season, that he already went back. Like, so I think Vooch is just disengaged. I think he's just ready for wherever comes next after this. I'm here, Haize, flame up a Goofy. I know it's coming. Usually not on halftime hangouts. We're usually not live long enough on halftime for a Goofy to pop up. I don't know why Billy's so stuck to Collins. I get Vooch because that's the guy they want to trade in politics. But if Collins ain't bringing it, then play Smith. Well, here's the thing. Collins is much better defensively than Smith, right? But I think it shouldn't even be either or. Like, Jalen Smith can play the 4. Like, it's okay for him to play the 4. I'm not saying he needs to play the 4 for every one of his minutes, but he can, right? Kings are keeping a team depth with Lyles, LeVar, Ellis, and that rookie, I forgot his name, Devin Carter. Yeah, they're not going to get rid of their youth. They're not going to. Zach and DeMar 3 for 13. Yeah, that's what I said. They're combined for 12 points so far. So they identified Monk was hot and got him the ball early. And Malik Monk is a problem. Yeah, I mean, Malik Monk is always a problem when he gets in rhythm. He's inconsistent too, but He's playing really well tonight. You can't take that away from him. People probably has the best chance of guarding Debo in this game. Billy D. So I disagree with that. I don't think that Patrick Williams has the lateral movement to do it consistently, and I also think that Patrick Williams, the advanced moves of DeMar once he gets in rhythm, listen. But even then, I don't think that maybe either Dalen or Julian can either. So you're probably right that he probably offers the best chance to guard DeMar today. Damon says, okay, thanks, guys. I'm looking now and found option. Haize, love the content. Big step up from Locked On Thunder, especially when you're cooking people. That's hilarious. Not Locked On Thunder. That's wild. I like Raylan Styles, though. Raylan is good people, man. He's good people. I've done several Locked On episodes with Raylan. Vooch played well to start the season. He realizes he needs to reduce his value, so he's tanking. Why would he need to reduce his value? Reducing his value actually probably increases the chances that he stays here. So I doubt Vooch is like, hey, I need to decrease my value. I highly doubt that. Jalen is icing his knee often this year. I wonder if there's lingering issue or we may see an offseason surgery with him. I don't know. I don't know if I think that. I don't think it's nearly as bad as you're letting on. You got to keep in mind he was out with an injury for a while, but I don't think it's like some mysterious injury. But we'll see. We'll see. Weirder things have happened. Weirder things have happened. But overall, let's hope that the Bulls can get back in rhythm. Third quarter starting. I'll be back at post game. Love you guys. Go Bulls. Let's try to get this dub.